shines bright, yeah.
Your true flaws, it can capture the eyes. This moment you rise, this moment you cry.
Twin the sunrise and the moon that shines bright, yeah.
True flaws is why you're chosen to rise.
Yes, 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 yes. Happy 4th of July, everyone. It's Independence Day. I hope you're having an amazing, blessed Sunday. I started this out. That's a good friend of mine. You can find him. It's D.A. Smalls. And he just released this album. I actually sent him a while back. And I don't know what's going to come out of that. I'm kind of just allowing God to take that. But I felt that he was the one that I needed to send it all to. But I sent him about, 20 years worth of things that I had written along the way. Just very broken and angry and frustrated. And that was a lot of my 20s and 30s. That was a lot of what it was. So writing has always been what's kind of allowed me to release those things, because I didn't always talk. I never talked about anything. So I just wrote. I was just always writing since I was about 16. So for anybody that didn't know that, yes. But anyway, I wanted to come on here because I'm leaving. I will call it the place of worship. I think church, the word church can be taken so many different ways, and I think sometimes to some people that's kind of like a bad word. But I wanted to share a little bit. I'm driving right now, but one of the things that the pastor said today is, the devil will come in and try to shut us up. So I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I have not been on here really that much. I haven't been doing Facebook Lives. I pulled away from the podcast. I really just pulled away from a lot of things. Now I will say I was working on real estate. So I didn't just quit, right? I wasn't just like quitting, not doing anything. I have taken on a couple more clients. So there are a lot of things happening in the background, but as far as like social media, I was doing the TikTok videos and stuff like that. It just became too much to keep up with, and I really just kind of shut down. And so that's why I haven't been on here. I will also say that my phone holder that I had in my car, it broke. So usually I would do my live videos in the car, and then I didn't have my phone holder, and so now I'm actually illegally holding my phone, but I'm not looking down at it, as you see. So I'm driving like I'm supposed to be, because there's a lot of people out today, so I want to make sure I'm driving safely. So I'm just kind of holding it in one hand and I'm driving, so no worries, I'm still safe. But also the internet at my house was messing up, and so I didn't do the Zoom videos. I stopped doing the Spiritual Awakening Ministries, because then I didn't feel I was worthy of doing those, to be very honest. Because I'm not there yet, you guys. I'm not far along in the spiritual journey. However, I am in the spiritual journey. And so what I have to learn how to do is, even in times, this is what the pastor talked about today, and I really am enjoying the place of worship that I'm going to now. I could write a whole book on just the past couple years, finding where I needed to be as far as serving and worshiping. I could write a whole book on that. So I'm going to not go into all that today. But there's a whole journey behind it. But I've had to learn how to embrace the journey and learn how to be led. And I habitually force things. I've been doing it my whole life. If one thing doesn't work out, I just go somewhere else. I try something else. And I force it and force it and force it until it works. And then sometimes it doesn't work. And then it does what it did in 2019, where it all just comes crashing down. And I am ready to check out of life. And that's exactly what happened a couple years ago. And so that's when I started this journey. So for anybody that didn't know that, now you know. But yeah, so I've kind of just pulled away from some things. I can't be everything for everyone. I think we all kind of go through this. And I love helping people, and I'm a people pleaser. So it's very difficult for me to learn how to say no, or, especially when it comes to, finances and, needing some income to come in, and then being willing to help people in areas that I normally wouldn't help them in just because of the income, and that's just not a way to be either. So I'm having to learn how to operate in my lane, where I want to be, and learning that is difficult too, because I feel like I can help people in a lot of different areas, and so I'm having to learn, like, okay, where do I want to be though? Where do I desire to be? I know that I love helping as far as listening to people's stories and channeling whatever I can channel, and sharing experiences to help them. But, it's just learning how to not try to do everything. So that's where I've been. So like I said, I haven't been doing a whole lot of these. Thank you if you're tuning in. I appreciate you. But yeah, I felt the need to come on and share a little bit, because I think when people don't see you in the forefront, they don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm usually one that kind of stays quiet as far as that's concerned, because people got their own problems, and I don't talk about mine a whole lot. I do share, like, I'll post pictures and stuff like that, but as far as getting on here and doing a live video, I just don't do that very much. But I'm going to start doing it more, because one of the things that the pastor was saying today as well is he was like, we have to learn how to praise not only before and after, but also through. And I think that's really huge, because when we're going through things, it's really, really difficult to continue to praise, right? Like, I'm going through it and you want me to praise. But I can attest that when I am willing, because it's not 100%, I'm perfectly imperfect, everyone. Okay, just remember that. We all are. I think when we learn how to admit that, that's when we're able to do a whole lot more in life, and be a whole lot more for other people. So anyway, yeah, so when we're going through things, it's important to continue to have that faith and praise, and remember that we have to learn how to release things. We can't be everything for everyone. We can't do everything, even if we think we can. So, even though I try to do everything, and I will continue to try to do everything. And that's something that I've just really had to come to terms with, as far as, I've been hearing the words "be still" a lot, in my prayer time, just throughout the day. It's just be still, be still, be still. Now, that doesn't mean not do anything. Like I said, I'm still working on different things that I am able to work on. But if it's something that I'm having to force, like if it's something that is $1,000 and I don't have $1,000, that's not where I'm meant to be. If I was meant to be there, I would have the $1,000. So I'm having to learn how to do that stuff. So I did let go of a couple certifications this year. One will just be on hold until the money's there, which is my personal trainer certification. The other one was my lab tech certification. I'm no longer practicing as a lab tech, and it's honestly, I don't want to be in a lab at this point. I like being amongst people. I like talking with people. I like the unplanned events that occur during the course of a day in my life now. I love the unplanned conversations that occur, and I'm really just learning how to embrace those things. So I don't want to be in a lab. So I am learning to let go of those things as well. I'm purging books. I'm purging notes. All the medical courses that I took, and all the things that I was holding on to, because I was like, I'll go to med school one day. But I really don't even see myself there either. I think there's something else that's way bigger than me, and it's starting to form, and I'm seeing it. It was a vision that came to me a couple years ago, and it's actually starting to kind of build itself out. I don't have to build it, which is even crazier. Not having to build it. It's just building itself out, and I'll write things down. I'll put together like this organizational chart of what was kind of coming together, and even some of those names have changed now, but that's okay. Where it comes to like organization names, not people names, but it's just the journey. We have to learn how to embrace it. So, I do pretty much everything that deals with health when it comes to helping people, and so I've had to embrace this journey just like I tell them to embrace that journey. This journey called life, it's not simple, it's not put together, there's no plan, there's, like people are like, well, how come you can't just give me a meal plan? Well, because I want to teach you how to eat for the rest of your life. Because life is a continuous journey, and that meal plan is only going to take you as far as you allow it to before you start getting tired of the foods that are on the meal plan, right? So if you learn how to eat for life, now you're not just on this temporary meal plan, and you can actually get longer and more beneficial results for overall health. I will say being in the lab taught me a lot about health, and just how what we look like on the outside isn't telling us the whole story about what's going on the inside. So that's why I'll have people, get their labs done, because I can still read labs. And I'll say, well, would you mind sharing them with me, so that way we can make sure, we can see what we're dealing with before we even start. Because if it's something that's out of my scope, I want to make sure that I can refer them to someone else. And it's different. And some people don't like that. Some people are like, well, why do you need my labs? Well, I don't need them. And the fact that I'm taking the extra steps should show you something that I actually care. And I'm not just doing it for the money. But yeah, so it's, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And I think sometimes a lot of us don't share those things. But I felt compelled, like I said, to come on here and share this, because, when I'm able to come out on the other side, I want you to be able to see what it's like going through it, because someone out there is going through it, and maybe I'm supposed to be the light for them. So maybe you're supposed to be the light for them. So be willing to share. And the devil's going to try to shut us up, and we can't allow that. So I'm always grateful for people around me who remind me of things like that. I took a lot of notes today. Just because and I told him, I was like, this is why I was led here, because everything that you talk about, I need to hear. I need to hear right now in this stage of my life. I need to hear these things. And so I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful for learning how to listen. I'm grateful for learning how to pull back. I'm grateful for learning how to be led, and not force things as much. So if you're in that place where you feel like you're forcing things, or, I just wrote a blog recently on the jodywatkins.com website where it said 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Maybe you're in that place. And I do share a lot through my writing. So I do encourage you, if you haven't been to the jodywatkins.com website, I'm not a website developer, so it's not all nice and flashy. But I do use it mostly for blogging and being able to share the journey, because that's what I do. I write. So I just encourage you to, look at something and see if anything helps you along the way. But thank you so much for coming on here, and enjoy your 4th of July. My family is not here, and I did all my meal prep, I think with the exception of like 2 things, yesterday. So I'm going to relax today. I'm going to relax. I walked the dogs. I'll probably take her back out later on the bike or something, maybe this evening. But yeah, so if you're in that position where maybe you don't have a bunch of family around you, just be, enjoy it, relax, enjoy the peace, crank the music. I did that yesterday. I cranked up the music. No one was telling me I couldn't listen to what I wanted to listen to. I cranked up the music. I cooked all kinds of stuff. And now I have food for the rest of the week. So meal prep. If you're busy, meal prep. But yeah, so, just make the best of every situation. Be grateful for what you have. Don't focus so much on what you don't have. And everything that I say, I promise you, I have to tell myself every single day. So that what I just said, I always have to tell myself too. And keep people around you who remind you of that and remind you of how amazing you are. And if you have people around you who are tearing you down, please get away from them. Please get away from them, because they're not worthy of you. And I think that sometimes we allow ourselves to stay comfortable, and we're not willing to step outside because of fear. We're not sure what's going to happen. So I hope that I can encourage you today to just begin to take steps towards operating outside of fear and seeing what's on the other side. So once we step outside of the box, I can attest to this, amazing things start to happen. And the doors that I used to get all down and out about because they were closing, they've actually allowed the right doors to open along the way. And it is a process. Our pastor talked about that today too. It's the process, the journey, embracing it, knowing there's a process, finding trustworthy people that you can talk to, that will support you, encourage you, empower you. That CSEE. That's huge. Be around people like that, okay? If people are trying to take you down, you must step away from them. I've had to walk away from people I didn't want to walk away from, but I also couldn't pull them any further. If you're having to keep pulling and people aren't willing to take steps by themselves, you have to let go. You have to. And that's not saying you have to burn bridges, right? Like, if people come back later, cool, I'm still here. I say that all the time. When you're ready, I'm here. But if you're not ready, I can't pull you. So examine your relationships. See where you're at. God bless you. Have an amazing and safe 4th of July. And I am going to try to do one of these at least once a week. Okay, I'm going to commit to that. So I'm not going to let the devil take my voice. And I was also, I have a lot of people that are like, I don't believe in God. Well, you know what? I'm not going to let you take my voice either. Because I wasn't always in that. I wasn't always in this journey either. And this has helped me in life. It's helping me stay alive. It's helping me feel worthy. It's helping me feel like I deserve great things in life. So that's my journey. And if you don't want to hear it, that's okay. You don't have to listen. But if you do want to hear it, please stay. Please stay. Please stay tuned. I love you guys. And I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.